Mr. President,
Minority Leader.
I ask unanimous consent the quorum be dispensed.
Without objection.
Well, Mr. President, today we're starting an important work period in the Senate. Every work period is important, but this one especially so, because this month Congress needs to step up and fix all the disasters that Donald Trump has created since he became president. Donald Trump's been president for 225 days, and each one has been worse than the last.
What's up, True Voice crew? Andrew here, and today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, a video from Senator Chuck Schumer reacting to the former president's first 225 days in office. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Andrew, why are we listening to Chuck Schumer? But stick with me here, because what he says is important. It's about accountability, and it's about what it means to be a true patriot.
Every time Trump creates a new crisis, each new controversy, each new lie, every time he sends armed troops to U.S. cities, each new attack on the courts, on the rule of law, on the Constitution is a disgrace to the presidency. And that is what Donald Trump's presidency has been, a disgrace, a failure, an exercise in pathetic leadership. I just spent a month traveling from one corner of New York to the other, talking to families, business people, Democrats, Republicans, independents, and the trend is clear. American families are poorer because of President Trump. American businesses are less optimistic because of President Trump. And American communities are less safe because of President Trump. America is more isolated, less respected, wields less influence over the world affairs because of President Trump. Just the picture of Modi and Putin and Xi standing there together as allies. It was Donald Trump who ended up making that happen. In a recent survey, it showed that the United States is now the only country, we're the only country among 184 that shows a drop in international visitors. People don't want to come to America anymore because Donald Trump has so tarnished what our country is all about and what had made our country so great. And it's not just about reputation. It's going to cost our economy billions that come from tourism and kill jobs. It'll freeze entire communities. I was just in Niagara Falls, in the Finger Lakes. 25% of our tourists this summer are usually, in each summer, are usually Canadian, but not this year. Canadians don't want to come here. And they're angry. The people, not just the government, but the people are angry about what Trump is saying about their country and saying about them. And when folks as friendly as the Canadian people so suddenly don't want to have anything to do with America, that's when you know that Donald Trump is like a disease to America's greatness. It is incumbent upon Republicans in Congress to join us to fix these disasters through the appropriations process, through common sense legislation. The question still is, will Senate Republicans keep bowing to Donald Trump and enabling his lies every step of the way? When will they have the guts to stand up to him? Because they know he's lying. Because that is what Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a liar through and through. It's been his MO his whole life. I've seen that in New York. He's lied to the American people, lied about the economy, about fixing inflation, about peace in Europe and the Middle East, lied about Epstein, the Epstein files, lied about elections, lied about Social Security and Medicaid. One lie after another and another. Let's start with the economy and Donald Trump's tariffs. Donald Trump said his tariffs would bring liberation to America. This has turned out to be one big, fat lie. Companies are losing revenues, shedding jobs, raising costs. Just look at companies, great American companies like John Deere and Caterpillar. They're strong, they're solid, they've always been a rock of America. But last month, they reported losses in the hundreds of millions and layoffs in the hundreds. Why? Donald Trump did it. Nothing to do with farm conditions. The tariffs did it. Or look at retailers like Target and Walmart, not to mention every grocery store chain in America. They're all raising prices. Hormel, they're raising the price of pork and beef. J.M. Smucker, which runs Folgers and Dunkin' Donuts and other coffee brands, said prices for its products will keep going up. Why? Trump's tariffs. Plain and simple. No ands, ifs, or buts. But of course, Donald Trump will lie to the American people about his failures. As we've said, that's been his MO all along. Here's what he said on Monday. He said on Monday, he tweeted that prices are way down in the U.S. with virtually no inflation. Every single person in America knows that's a lie. Anyone who buys anything knows it's a lie. Every one of the 77 million Americans who voted for Trump, they know he's lying. They know it when they go to the supermarket or try to buy something. They see higher prices at the grocery store when paying their electric bills, higher prices when buying school supplies, and yet the MAGA bots and Fox News propagandists, which always seem to want to cover up for Donald Trump, will pretend he's right, just so they can keep on sucking up to him. It's pathological, it's delusional, it's more lies. And nowhere is the Trump psychosis more evident than in gas prices. President Trump, listen to this, President Trump claims that gas prices are under $2 when every single American driver knows that's a lie. Maybe for the MAGA extremists, this is the point, unfortunately. Maybe this is their idea of success. Maybe MAGA radicals are perfectly fine having Americans pay more for produce, for meat, for gas, so long as masked agents can arrest Uber drivers right off our streets, so long as billionaires get their tax cuts, so long as Medicaid recipients lose their coverage and Social Security gets privatized. Maybe that's MAGA's idea of a golden age, but for the rest of America, this is chaos. And if Donald Trump is not running America's economy when Donald Trump is not running America's economy to the ground, he's been busy incinerating America's reputation on the world stage. He's rolling out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. He brags about stopping wars that still rage on. He has failed to stop the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, failed to end the war, and failed to bring the hostages held by Hamas home. He creates problems so he can pretend to solve them. That's what he does. He creates a problem, creates a real mess, and then he says, oh, I've solved it, when nothing like that has ever happened in so many areas. The only foreign policy accomplishment Donald Trump has under his belt is bringing India, China, and Russia closer together, thanks to his unbelievable stupid tariffs and his lack of understanding of how diplomacy works and how to get along with people in countries.
Schumer called the presidency a disgrace and a failure, and he pointed out how many crises and controversies have happened. Now, some people might say that's just partisan politics, but let's be real. When you see our country getting less respected on the world stage, when you hear about how even our friendly neighbors in Canada are getting turned off by what's happening here, that's not just a political issue. That's a national one. You see, a true patriot isn't just someone who waves a flag. A true patriot holds their leaders accountable. When Schumer talks about American families being poorer and businesses being less optimistic, he's talking about us. He's talking about our communities. And when he points out that the former president's tariffs are hurting American companies and raising prices at stores like Target and Walmart, he's not just making a political jab. He's speaking a truth that a lot of working people are feeling right now. The former president claimed that prices were way down and that there was virtually no inflation. But as Schumer said, every single person in America knows that's a lie. You see it at the grocery store. You see it at the gas pump. You can't just tweet away the facts. And that's what's so frustrating, the constant denial of reality. What really got to me in the video, though, was when Schumer called on Republicans to have the guts to stand up to the former president. That's not a partisan plea. That's a plea for integrity. For all of us. As a left-winged patriot, I believe in this country, and I believe we can do better. We can't fix the problems we're facing if we can't even agree on what the problems are. So, my message to you, True Voice crew, is this. Don't let anyone tell you that holding your leaders accountable is unpatriotic. Patriotism isn't blind loyalty. It's love for your country. A love so deep that you're willing to fight for its integrity and its future, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about demanding a government that serves the people, not one person. That's all for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with Schumer? Do you think it's important for people to stand up and speak the truth? And what does being a patriot mean to you? Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Until then, stay true, stay loud, and let your voice be heard. Peace.